Okay, so now we have a look at the S&P 500. I'm still looking to be short on that one, as you know. So this is the very simple chart where we have the automatic support and resistances that are drawn by our system. I just wanted to point out this thing here, or we can see it perhaps better on this chart. Yes, we could have. I'm still looking for a much bigger correction on the S&P 500, as you know, for 20% or so. Um, what I've just saw would be we could have here something that could be forming what many likes to trade, which is the head and shoulder pattern. So for me, the head and shoulder pattern is simple. It's a consolidation here where we have accumulation of money. Then we have a spike where we take stops above and come back inside, do another consolidation on the other side, and then we drop. So we need to keep an eye on that one to see what could happen. If we go back on this simple chart we have there, we see that we are just now in this area with some support and resistances. This one at 4,664. I just tried to short it here. We went through it, so I took my small loss. That's how I work, you know. I have very tight stops on that. So I will try the next one will be the 4,674 level where I'm looking for a short. If we go on this chart, which is, well, here it looks like a big mess, but we have this big trend line that I've been pointing since a long time, this big pink thick trend line and the thin one here. And you see how the price has been struggling inside those two trend lines for some times now when we spike down. So if we go on the smaller time frame to see something a little bit cleaner, last week we called for a short in that area. We had a very nice short trade there. Then we bounce again on this thin trend line here. We are bouncing a little bit now, and we have here the same thing than we had before on the other chart, which is the same area. We had 4,600 and 4,675, and here we have more or less 4,677 to 80. So the same area is pointed here. So that will be the next place to get short for me. To add short, because I'm still short from the top, of course, because as you remember all, we had called a short right there on the spike above the double top we had there. We spiked above and we went short hardly in this area. So now we have had this double top. We took a short, as I said here on the first one. I added back on the second one. We ran a little bit. It was a few percent pips. I don't a few percent trade, 3 or 4%, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it was a 3% trade. So now I'm looking to add back on the short side of the S&P 500. Sorry, 1 second. I'm looking to add back on the short side. My next try will be here. Then I will try each time we have a setup. And what is a setup for us is when we have a confluence of level and our short-term setup on the 15-minute with the confirmation, a 15-minute confirmation like we had here. You see this one here, red signal. We were overbought, yes, overbought, and right on this level we came back. We will do exactly the same here. I'm sure we already have a red signal on the RS6. Price 6 will come soon with us, and I will short it here again. Potentially, we could see a double top there. I don't know yet, but that's something we could very well see. A double top on this area with a signal would be a great short area for us. So if we go back to the detailed chart, in the same place, you see we have the 88.6 fib right there where we stop already. This level has been holding the price in many occasions. and that's where we are. Of course, being short S&P for me is not being long USD, because you know I'm short USD all the way. So we could have something like short stock falling together with the USD falling, and that would be good to spread some confusion in the market. Sorry, one more time, because I'm trading at the same time. So we'll see what happened here, but for sure I will try to get short in this area, and I will try to post the video very fast so you can, if you wish, of course, you can try this trade too. If we break up for any reason, we would have the same area than we had here. We could draw a small short-term trend line here, even if I dislike that kind of thing, but we could have a short-term trend line here and probably come back in this confluence of this 50%, which is a very important level there, and the trend line. If not, the major big one is that level at 4,783.60. That would be a very big short for me if we go there. So I just refresh that in case some would have forgotten this level, but it's really a very strong level. And if we would come in this area, of course, we would have a very nice short to take there. So that's all for now. I will post update in the Twitter feed, and I will make a newsletter. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter where I will send more updates and more details, especially volume, for example, on the S&P. We can have a look at it now if you wish. This is the volume analysis. So we can see on S&P it's not so helpful because we don't have a lot of history. We are on all-time high. So the volume is nice to be used when we are using something a little bit less, not with more story on the left that we could use for the volume. So we don't have it here. But what we see immediately there is if we break, we have again here a very important volume area between 4,700 and 4,710. So just to refresh and look back at this chart, the 4,700 and 4,710 is this area here where we have the daily 20 moving average. So that would make this area probably this area as another major place to look at a big short area. So that could be something we could look at if we think of confluence with some important volumes levels and those fib, for example, the 2360, 2140 here, which is important. You see how it has been holding the price. Look at this spike down right on the 2360, this one right on the 2140, and you see how it has been holding the price incredibly in the past in this area, even till there. You see how if we project this area, we go all the way to there. Let me put it here, and you will immediately understand what I mean. So this is the extension of those 2360, 2140 fib, and you see how well the price has been reacting in that area, even at the beginning. Of course, here very well, and there it will be the same. Spike, bodies, everything has been holding there. Even if we look on the 4-hour chart, you can see exactly the same big reaction area on those levels. So together with the volume and this daily 2021 moving average, we will have something if we see that again. For now, we are looking for this level, 4,693, and the next short-term level would be 4,677 that you can see here.